Toronto won the toss. They deferred. Calgary took the football. And we are set to go as the Argos look to remain unbeaten on the season. In 5 of their 6 games, they have led by at least 20 points. And that ball blown off. I did mention a little bit of a breeze here and possible storm sort of lurking in gusts right now, topping out around 30 kilometers. So the wind certainly could play a factor in the ball game tonight, and maybe a few showers later on as well. We'll see. Calgary needs this one, though. This would be a big win against a great opponent to really sort of get your season turned around. And we are underway. Friday Night Football at McMahon in Calgary. And this will be taken and brought back up the middle of the field. Nice return just outside the 25. 26-yard return, and that is where we get our first look at Jake Maier today.
Yeah, it's still early in his career as well, and I think a lot of fans forget that young players are going to go through some highs and lows throughout their journey, and certainly that's been the case for Jake Maier this year. But 9-10 in his career, 1-0 versus Toronto, only the second game starting against the Argos.
Calgary has been in a lot of football games and just has not been able to close those football games just yet. Would be looking for a nice start. Toronto has not allowed a point against in their last 3 first quarters. Good carry right up the middle, and that'll be enough for a first down as a huge part of this Calgary offense is Dedrick Mills.
Yeah, Joshua Coker is going to take over at right tackle. That moves Bryce Bell to the other side to left tackle. We'll watch those matchups with a real good defensive line, as the coach mentioned on the panel. And in the receiving core, game day's decision for Trey Odom-Stooks. He can't make it. He's out. So they move Mark and Michelle into his spot, and Jerry Lee Lewis is going to play in Michelle's wide receiver spot.
Tommy Lee Lewis.
Oh, sorry. I knew I was going to do that.
It had to happen at some point. I almost just let it go, but that was too funny.
Yeah, Jerry Lee Lewis. There we go. Argos D. Let's look at the Argos D. Former Calgary Stampeder Florian Aramalade is going to play off the edge, and that's the matchup we'll watch against Bryce Bell and Josh Coker. But in the linebacking court, Jordan Williams starts in the middle at middle linebacker, and in the secondary, Quantez Stiggers will take over for Jamal Peters at corner.
Second in mid-range here for Jake Maier and the Stampeders offense early in this Friday Night Football affair. 3 options up to his right. Looks that way. Flushed out of the pocket, dumps it off to his running back, and trying to push ahead for a first down. And boy, lots of bodies into that pile, and it will be 3rd and short here for the Calgary Stampeders.
Yeah, the question is for Dave Dickinson, how short? Because they're moving it to about 2 yards, a long 2. And you know, Jake Maier talking this week about wanting to make sure that took full responsibility for the loss in Montreal, and said he just made some poor decisions in key moments in that game, and that really hurt them. But he talked about it's okay to punt sometimes. It's okay to not force it. Maybe drop it to your back like you did there. See if he can get it. If not, play the field position game.
Got to be careful against this Argos defense. Grace, big kick. That'll be taken just inside the 5, a 60-yard kick. And nowhere to go on the return for one of the most dangerous in the league. We'll get a look at Chad Kelly, 6-0 to start the season. And a trip to Calgary here in week 9 for the Argos as they look to remain unbeaten in 23. Offense, and very nice season so far for them.
Yeah, just start number 8 in his career in the Canadian Football League, but this year 6-0 and completing 70% of his passes. I think maybe most importantly, just not turning the ball over very often. Their plus minus is plus 16 on the season.
This drive starts deep in Toronto territory. Looked down the field, then decided to take the safe play, and he gets it into the hands of Gittins Jr.
That's what's, you know, I won't say surprising, but it's for a young quarterback, it's the turnover ratio that you look at, because they want to make things happen. They get impatient. They want to force things, and Chad Kelly this year really hasn't done that. Thrown 4 interceptions, but 8 touchdowns.
2nd and 3. Calgary's going to bring some heat. Kelly gets it away over the middle as he felt that pressure. Was looking for Cam Phillips, but it falls incomplete. Nice start for the Calgary defense.
Well, that's the whole theory behind when Jake Maier was talking this week and the coach was talking this week about the field position game and the fact that you know, sometimes it's okay to punt the ball. If you don't want to force it, get a turnover, play the field position game, and in this exchange, Calgary should get decent field position for drive number 2.
Tommy Lee Lewis waits at his own 40 as this is kicked away. That's into the wind, and Lewis takes it at the 45. Nice burst. Look at this, all the way back inside the 45, the other way. For Tommy Lee Lewis has been excellent. Tough start this year for the Calgary Stampeders. 2-5, 0-3 at home, but they've been in pretty much all of these football games. Glenn, just haven't been able to close them out.
Yeah, 6 of the 7 games have been decided in the final 3 minutes, and you know that can really toughen you up as a team, pull you together as a team. But in a competitive West Division, the Stamps have to find a way to win some of those. They're 0-5 when they're behind going into the 4th quarter.
This drive starts on the Toronto 42. They'll hand it off, but Mills back to the line of scrimmage. Not much further down the field against this Argos defense.
Really good front 7 when you think about the rotation between Dwayne Hendricks and Sean Oakman, with Jordan Williams being the linebacker to scrape to it. Number 1, you see him scraping to the hole, and they'll rotate in with Jared Brinkman, which is the 2nd game in a row where this Argo defense, again, leading the league in takeaways. Really tough to run against.
Maier with his running back out to the flat. Dumps it over the middle for Barnes. Barnes spins it down towards the 30. And a great extra effort from Clark Barnes gives Calgary a first down.
High school Mississauga kid playing at Guelph, coming on and making some plays and doing some good things. And he's gonna set up like he's gonna block for a screen, and then he is the screen man inside. Some blocking help from his O-line down the field.
You have to go back to July 3rd to find the last time the Argos gave up points in the opening quarter. Calgary creeping towards that now. They'll hand it off to Mills. Finds a hole on the right side of that line. Goes for 7 inside the 25.
Well, this has been a point of emphasis, too, just to get the running game in the balance so that you're not in unworkable situations of 2nd and long. And Mills coming off to the left side here and then hitting the right side with good blocking up front by Joshua Coker at their point of attack. But in his first 3 games, he was averaging about over 90 yards rushing per game. And his last 3, that has dropped drastically. So getting that balance back has been a priority.
Settles in behind Maier again. Flags here as Maier gets it into the hands of Lewis. Lewis with a speed burst on the far side of the field. Would have had enough for a first down. Looks like this is against Toronto. 10-yard pickup for Tommy Lee Lewis.
Goodness gracious. Out in the flat.
That's a thing now, right?
Well, every single time
Offside.
I looked at his...
Toronto number 8. That penalty's declined. That was number 6. First down.
Every time I look at him on the depth chart, I thought, I'm going to say Jerry Lee at some point. So I got that over with. But he's got some speed. I mean,
dynamic, right?
Yeah, some breakaway speed. So you say goodness gracious on this one. Getting a chance to play tonight.
1st and 10 from the Toronto 13. Maier goes back to Lewis. This time, nice tackle just outside the 10 from Stiggers. And it'll be 2nd and long after a pickup of just 1.
Yeah, they move Stiggers out to the corner, and that is a good open field tackle. Playing for Jamal Peters, one of the veterans back there. Peters with an interception on the season. He's out with injury right now, so that's just a great job of breaking the block from Luther Akunavanu and coming up and making a big tackle in the open field. Gets 2nd down here.
Toronto has not trailed in their last 2 games. Calgary looking to change that here. Jake Maier, 2nd and 8 from the Argo 11. Maier has a completion, far side to the 5. Nice tackle And Lloyd Allen hauls it in, wrapped up by Daniel.
Just on the outside, and this is a good throw by Jake Maier. One of the reasons we talked about those close games that they haven't found a reason to win, they're only 50% in the green zone or red zone inside the 20-yard line. And they can fix that, score some majors down in there when they're close. You find a way to win those close games down the stretch.
Toronto, on the other hand, 76% in the red zone. 3rd and short. Tommy Stevens, the big fella, into the game. Needs about a yard, pushing ahead. And he's got it. Calgary's offense continues to march piece by piece down the field here.
Yeah, we see some of the really good short yardage guys. I think Tommy Stevens is one of the best. And you can tell by the patience in short yardage. A lot of guys will just take that ball and immediately follow their center because they're nervous about hesitating at all at the line of scrimmage. But Stevens he'll just be patient, slide over to the right or left side of the formation and take the soft spot.
Stevens stays in the game, looking to maybe finish the job here. Stevens trying to push ahead. Can he get there? Just short. 2nd down.
And then there's the push side of him. Just the athletic side. 6'5", 260. At quarterback. 6'5", 260. Stopped at the line. Hang on, he's not done yet. I'll take another half-yard there right down to that yellow stripe. Don't think he crossed the plane. And there's no way they could overturn anything there anyway.
You're not taking a big man like that out here, though.
No.
Right at the edge. He kind of reached out there at the end, but was likely already down. So they mark him just short. Just has the 1 rushing touchdown on the season. Yeah, can stretch out some big stuff too.
Sorry for that, Dustin. I think that's Jared Brinkman that's in a little help off the field. Again, in that rotation. 2nd game in a row. The 3 have been in there with Hendricks, Oakman, and Brinkman.
Brinkman, a big part of the run-stopping defense for Toronto. Deontay Knight standing there next to Sean Oakman as they look to brace themselves for another push ahead from Tommy Stevens. Short yardage quarterback looking to give Calgary the first lead of the ball game. Can he find some room? Yes! Touchdown Stevens! Calgary goes on top 6-0.
Down blocks from the left side of the offensive formation for the Calgary O-line as they open up that left side. Bryce Bell's one of them. They're going to block down and try to get Stevens right off tackle to the left. He went twice in short yardage to the right side, and look at them push and reestablish the line of scrimmage back in the end zone. That's some good blocking up front.
Caps off a 9-play, 42-yard drive that took just over 5 minutes, and it really started with a nice return from Tommy Lee Lewis all the way up to the 42 on a punt, and then Calgary did the rest. Jake Maier, 5 of 5 for 33 yards to start this football game as well. So for the first time in over a month, the Argos have allowed points in the first quarter of a football game. Calgary Stampeders with some momentum early at home.
Argo defensive line led by Dwayne Hendricks in the middle. There's Hendricks there, and he's got Robbie Smith beside him. But look at the left side of Calgary's offensive line here. Just drive back. They get some help from fullback Charlie Power as well. But Bryce Bell pushes his man, including Hendricks, 2 yards back into the end zone to give Tommy Stevens a chance to run off that left side for the major.
Mission accomplished for Calgary, and they have a lead against the unbeaten Argos here at home. Leak on the return, tripped up a little bit, gets to the 30, and then is officially wrapped up there. And that is where Chad Kelly and this Argos offense will go to work for the 2nd time today.
Yeah, Gregor McKellar is going to start at right guard. That's one change in the offensive line. Rest of the guys are back as per last week in the receiving core, and running backs AJ Ouellette. I mean, he's second in the league in the CFL coming into the week, but Brady Oliveira in Winnipeg had a game in hand, and he's already played once this week, so he played last night. So very close in that race for the rushing title.
They start on their 31. They'll give it to Harris. And Harris, a short pickup on first down against this Calgary Stampeders defense.
One change. James Waters is out. Isaac Adiemi Berglund will play for him. We've seen him as a Calgary Stampeder for 3 years now. This is third in the season. Game day decision. Cameron Judge, it is game day, and he's decided to play. He's good to go, so he'll start in that linebacking core. And they moved Nick Taylor in at a halfback, and that has caused a bit of a shuffle. Kobe Williams goes to the other side, halfback. Moxie from halfback out to corner.
2nd and 7 for Kelly. Pressure coming from the Stampeders. Down the field, has a man, and drops it in at the 30 to the 10, and Toronto answers right back 76 yards into the hands of Cam Phillips.
What a read by Chad Kelly to find the open guy when he saw the blitz coming right here from the safety, Michael Griffin. So the blitz is coming. He's got the safety out of the middle, and he knows his blitz beater is Cam Phillips right down the seam. Nice read. As soon as that safety doesn't even have to blitz, as soon as he stops and tries to rob the hole and rob the curl in that short zone, or he actually comes on the blitz, as soon as you see the safety out of the middle, which one of your receivers is going to that hole? And for Chad Kelly, it was Cam Phillips.
One more hammered through to tie this game at 7, and the first touchdown of the season for Cam Phillips is a big one, a 76-yard bomb from Chad Kelly, and the Argos even it up.
And he is going to take off. Right down the seam.
Straight down. Untouched.
No safety in the middle to help out. No deep defender.
Calgary marches down the field over a 5-minute drive, and then Toronto, they waste no time. 76 yards to Phillip. Now here's Allen on the far side of the field. Stays on his feet. Not just past the 30 before he's game tackled there. And now Jake Mayer and the Calgary Stampeders offense will go back to work. Let's take one more look at this Kelly pass.
Yeah, Chad Kelly knew he had his guy right away. When he saw Griffin come out of the middle, he knew, okay, I just have to get it out there, put some air under it, and let 89 go and track it down.
This drive starts at the Calgary 31. 3 options to the right for Mayer. They'll hand it off. Excellent first down carry. Dedrick Mills, he almost got all 10 right there. 2nd and very short.
Nice little cut and patience. Go ahead and challenge one of the strengths. You were right off the top, Dustin. You said Calgary wants to get their season turned around, beat the best team in the league, or one of the best.
And now it'll be Jake Mayer who steps up there in short yardage, finds some space, and gets himself a first down. Dedrick Mills already has 33 yards in this ball game on the ground for the Calgary Stampeders. They come in averaging just shy of 86 on the season, 7th in the Canadian Football League. Of course, their quarterback, Jake Mayer, leads the league in passing yards. Also has 8 interceptions, 11 interceptions going along with his 8 touchdowns at 11 interceptions, the highest among quarterbacks. 1st and 10 from the 43. They'll hand it off again, and a decent chunk on first down. Tackle eventually made by the former Calgary Stampeder Rimolade, but a pickup of about 4 once again to the running back.
And again, I think that left side with Bryce Bell at left tackle are not only holding their own, they're actually making a difference. That's a great block off the edge. Mark and Michelle leading the way as a receiver through the hole, and Rabalotti got there, but not until pretty good run on first down.
Jake Mayer 5 of 5 for 33 yards in this game. Maybe a passing situation here. 2nd and 6. Mayer trying to take off, but he's tripped up and taken down instead. Hendricks gets there to make sure that Mayer could not escape from the pocket.
Yeah, Hendricks lines up as a defensive end on this play, and he ends up going one-on-one with Zach Williams. Here's Hendricks there, and he's going to go one-on-one with the guard, Zach Williams. Watch just the bull rush here. He just drives him back right into the pocket and into the lap of Jake Mayer, who just tries to escape but can't get there.
That'll bring up 3rd down and kick it away. Grace, another booming kick. Leak slides over, takes it cleanly at the 10. Leak after a 54-yard kick, trying to find an edge, and he might have it to the 30. Leak on his feet along the sideline. What a move! And he takes it all the way down inside the 50. My goodness, this guy is a highlight reel waiting to happen.
Big return over there in Halifax against the Saskatchewan Roughriders last week for a touchdown. He's got a couple on the season, and he's got some breakaway speed to outrun some of those angles in the cover team. Thought he might have stepped out of bounds there, but he was very close and picks up another 15.
He looks like a giant in the return game compared to some of the smaller returners around the league. He's just 6 feet tall, but 205 pounds. And are they going to look and see if he stepped out of bounds here, Glenn?
I think they are. I think they're going to look to adjust the field position here.
Upon review, the ball will be placed on the 44-yard line. The player stepped out of bounds at the 44-yard line.
That's a pretty significant difference.
Ball will be placed on the 44-yard line and a 1st down. Time.
It's that right foot right there. Hard to tell from that angle, but this one should be clear right there.
Please reset the game clock to read 1 minute 18 seconds. 1:18 on the game clock.
I don't think there's any question he stepped out of bounds. But nevertheless, nice looking run.
Still good looking return.
1:18.
Kelly connecting on a big one to Phillips to tie this game at 7. He's 2 of 3 for 83 yards and a touchdown here in the first quarter. Just over a minute remaining as we get settled in for Friday Night Football. Dark clouds in the distance. Hopefully they're heading elsewhere. 35-yard return when it's all said and done for Lee. Ouellette steps in right next to his quarterback. He will throw it out into the flat. That is caught. A couple of blocks. And a short pickup on 1st down back into the hands of Phillips, who's catching balls at a 73% clip this season.
Yeah, you know, the defense for the Calgary Stampeders wants to make a comeback. They want to come back from that bust where they gave up the big deep ball to Cam Phillips. Now they got to come back and rally, try and get the 2 and out. So success on 1st down, limiting that gain and putting Chad Kelly in 2nd and long.
3 options to his wild side right. And Calgary looked to bring some heat, but I think the Argos, and it was Phillips pretty clearly
offside.
Jumping the gun.
Toronto number 89, 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Well, they had Brandon Dozier and Griffin in there at the same time, and both came up from depth to the line of scrimmage. They come up here like this, and I think Cam Phillips thought, are you kidding me? You're going to leave the middle open again? And he got excited and went, I've got to get that. Oh, no, not early.
Back him up 5, 2nd and 13 for Kelly, just outside his own 40. The time has a completion, goes back to Phillips. He'll be stopped short. Got about 9, but they were in that 2nd and 13 situation, so this will be a punting opportunity for Haggerty.
Yeah, no, you know, this is just good open field tackle, and this is by design. So you get the penalty. You see that hit that was no flag, but close. You got to be careful with that. Today's day and age. after the ball is thrown.
Lewis waits back on his own 10 for this Haggerty punt. Averaging just under 50 per punt this year. This one a low kick. Bounces just outside the 20. Lewis takes it. Short return. Takes it just outside the 25. And that is where the first quarter will come to a close. Stampeders open the scoring. But Chad Kelly and the Argos answer with a big one of their own. First of the season for Phillips has us tied at 7, 15 minutes in. And here they are, tied at 7.
Yeah, they have the long drive. They get right down to the goal line. They have the short yardage, 3 or 4 plays in short yardage. Tommy Stevens finally gets in, and you know, a real good drive to take the lead early in the first quarter. And in one play, Chad Kelly finds Cam Phillips, and we have a tie football game. So you wonder how that affects the, you know, the psyche of Calgary. But here's one thing uncharacteristic for the Argos offensively is not much A.J. Ouellette in that first quarter.
None. Yeah. He only carried the ball one time. Is Andrew Harris. Save him for later. Save him for later. That's a nice strategy. Jake Mayer, 100% so far, 5 of 5, but they've been heavy on the ground. 36 yards for Dietrich Mills, and look at this, they'll directly snap it to him, but the Argos, no sir, all over it, and they wrap him up immediately on the play.
I think it's Royce Mechie that's coming up to help out in the run support just to the left of your screen, and he can see from being off a little bit off the line of scrimmage. He just scrapes over there and pretty quick in run support. See Jake Mayer try to go through with the fake like the snap was high.
The Argos would not be fooled. So after a loss of 2, 2nd and 12 here for Calgary on their own 27. Nothing from Begelton so far here tonight. Now they'll dip it back out. There he is. Begelton bouncing off one tackler. Trying to push ahead. Won't get the first down. Picks up 5 yards on his first touch of the ball game.
They have blitz off the backside here with Jordan Williams, the linebacker that's going after Jake Mayer. So it's the ideal call to get the ball out there quickly to Begelton, get some yak yards. Former teammate Sean Bain in Saskatchewan, who we talked to on Zoom today, has got a little side bet with his former teammate Begelton on yards after the catch. Yeah, for the end of the year. So we'll have his game on Sunday against Ottawa.
Darius Pickett getting looked at. Begelton, 212 yak yards.
Yeah.
Leads the team coming in.
I don't have Baines right in front of me right now, but
I'm intrigued by this. I like a good wager.
They talk about it. That's a couple extra yak yards there for Begelton.
Get some action on this as well. Begelton he's having a nice year. I mean, leads the team with over 500 yards. Pickett was getting looked at. Lifted up here now. Let's take a look.
Let's see where he is up here. I believe that's Pickett right there, and he just little move, non-contact injury, that little push off of the left leg. Boy, he's been outstanding. He's 5th in the CFL in defensive plays coming into this week. Has a couple sacks on the season.
Leads this team in tackles and special teams tackles, which you don't see very often. Just got that one away, did Grace. Taken just inside the 30, and a little bit of room there. Tight walking along the sideline. A flag on the play as well on that league return. We will sort that flag out when we return to McMahon, where we are deadlocked at 7 early in the second.
At Harvey's, everyone gets what they want. So if you want your Angus burger with an extra pickle and Harv sauce, you don't need to go so far as getting special ink. Though, honestly, we are flattered.
I am transferring you half. No way. Take it back.
I insist.
No, I insist.
Just take it.
You paid last time.
Sorry, did you say something?
I did. Take it.
Just take it.
Take it.
Take it.
Take it.
Okay, fine, fine. You win.
Okay. You're not transferring that back to me,
No.
are you?
Okay, yeah.
I can do this all day.
Get unlimited transactions and earn up to $450. Start by opening an eligible TD checking account. That's help that actually helps. TD. Ready for you.
Dip into Skip's Hot Deal Summer with $0 delivery fee and exclusive offers all summer long. Enjoy free food, buy one, get ones, bonus points, and more.
Did somebody say Skip?
I love
a lot of familiar faces on both sides of the football for these coaching staffs. As you can see, half the guys on the left are now on the right. For more on this connection between the two coaching staffs, let's send it down to Farhan Lalji.
Yeah, absolutely. The connections are huge. They're there on both sides, and they've certainly led to a mutual admiration society. You've got defensive coordinator for Calgary, Brent Monson, and Ryan Dinwiddie, head coach in Toronto. They were roommates together at one point. In fact, eventually Monson's wife moved into that apartment. Of course, now Dinwiddie's no longer there. They spent a lot of time before the game. Alex Singleton, former Stampeder player who's now in the NFL, tweeted that, yeah, it's Calgary East versus Calgary West. Hopefully they don't wind up in the wrong locker room. And there's been some good-natured chirping between the two sides. I talked to Pete Costanza. He said one of the Calgary coaches sent him a text that just said 6-1. Josh Bell has been sending texts to the guys in the Calgary side, and all of them have been water and waves symbolic of the Argos and their success at this point. So I asked Mark Killam about it before the game. He's like, no, I'm not texting anything. He, in fact, is sandbagging. He went to every Calgary coach and said, hopefully we can just give you a good game. They all kind of laughed at him. But, yeah, absolutely a great relationship between the staffs on this side. And certainly the Stamps not only want to beat them because they've got friends over there, but it would certainly be a statement to knock off an undefeated team.
It would be a big win tonight, no doubt about that. And maybe shouldn't be surprised by what Calgary's built here. See Toronto have that staff and start to build it as well, right?
Exactly. When you're a successful team, your coaching staff is going to get plucked.
Ouellette with his first touch of the game. Wrapped up. It was Rose who sort of initially held onto him and then got some help from Mike Moore.
But you know, when you're a team that has been in the double figures in wins and among the top two teams in your division for basically a decade under Huffnagel and Dave Dickinson, that every single year for a chance for a promotion, some of your staff are going to get offers.
2nd and 8 for Kelly. 3 options to his wide side left. Looks that way. Pressure in his face. Hit as he throws. Down the field, and it's complete to Brissett. Flags back by the quarterback. And we'll see what we have here, but that was quite a few moments. Kelly hit as he threw.
Yeah, he
illegal block. Ends to the face. Toronto number 63. 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Trevon Tate playing that left tackle spot out of Memphis. He's the guy who gets the hands to the face, because it's just remarkable that Chad Kelly could get this ball out of here. He takes a big hit. There was the hands to the face. That's the hit that Kelly took, but his accuracy on that throw to Brissett, under that kind of pressure to get it outside with all the air it got under it.
Wow, that's how you hit a quarterback, though.
Yeah,
Hauser. Clean shoulder,
up him up,
right to the midsection, got him. So 2nd and 18. Kelly, he's going to look down the field again, far side. And it looks like we've got about 4 flags out there for pass interference.
Yeah, no question. Jonathan Moxey. Clearly there was some grabbing and clutching and
defensive pass interference. Calgary number 2. The ball will be placed where the infraction occurred. Automatic 1st down.
Yeah, Jeremiah Hadel, I believe, outside here is running the go route. Just a single receiver to that side, and will stop and go. And there's the grab. He doesn't let him go. He doesn't let him get out of there. Lock the arm. That's a 28-yard penalty. Chad Kelly, maybe some repercussions from that big hit.
I'll hand it off to Ouellette. And He is taken down right at the line of scrimmage. That was Rose causing issues in there again, and a big impact from the big fella in the middle.
Yeah, good play there from limiting the gain. They really haven't got Olet going. But you know they're keyed in on it. They know what he's done as well throughout the season.
He's averaging 5.5 yards per carry. 2nd and 10 for Kelly.
Wow.
And we've got pointing. We've got pointing at McMahon.
There's offside, and then there is
illegal procedure. Toronto number 67. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
right guard McKellar gets he gets the penalty call right here, but it looked to me one of the Argo receivers were 20 yards down the field.
I don't think the coach is happy.
Oh, he's getting on him for these little mistakes.
2nd and 15. Kelly with time down the middle, and that falls incomplete. Looking in the direction of Hadel, but he never really had a crack at it. In 3rd and 15, they'll call for Haggerty to come in and punt this away.
That was quite the response there from Coach Dinwiddie. I mean, this is a team that's 6-0, and I think as a head coach, you're wondering do they start to relax a little bit mentally? A couple of procedure calls, small penalties, things like that.
Lewis, little slip. And a couple of guys missed, takes it back just outside 25, just shy of the 30. And I guess this is what you have when you have high standards for the defending Grey Cup champions. Unbeaten, still not pleased. Friday night football too, tied at 7. Jake Mayer, another completion. He's 7 for 7, but nothing down the field just yet. And another example of what they've been doing so far, a little dinking and dunking from the Calgary offense.
Well, you know, sometimes the purpose of doing that is to get the DBs to sort of close down a little bit closer, get closer to the line of scrimmage, and then that's when you fake those hitches and go deep. We'll see. They put Tommy Lee Lewis out there one-on-one against Stiggers at times. Remember, he's playing the wideout position for Mark and Michelle tonight. Moves into the inside.
Quiet night for Michelle. Didn't have a catch last week either. 2nd and 8 here. Flags as Mayer throws. Has a completion for a 1st down as he gets it into the hands of Bagleton for the 2nd time. This one goes for 12.
Well, that becomes the voided
Offside.
area.
Toronto number 7. That penalty is declined. 1st down.
That becomes the voided area when you got linebackers that are going to join the blitz, and he brought Mechie down to join the blitz as well. There's going to be that little opening for the hot routes.
Bagleton knows it. Veteran.
Oh, yeah.
Easy pickings for 84. 1st and 10 from the Calgary 44. We'll go back to Mills again. With patience, found an opening. And comes up just shy of a 1st down. They'll give him 8 on that carry.
Yeah, this really pays off in the 2nd half too. There's Mills right there coming off the right side of the offensive line. A nice kick out block on that side. Joshua Coker gets his man. He's engaged there. Lead block in the hole by Longley, the fullback.
Stampeders 5 for 9 on 2nd down so far here this evening. Back to the ground, back to Mills, pushing ahead. And he's got enough for a Calgary 1st down as they maintain the time of possession advantage in this football game.
Yeah, you know, and I was listening to the panel, and I agreed with them to start the game here tonight about, you know, Dwayne Hendricks and Sean Oakman and how strong they were up front in their front 7 for the Argos, and Corey Mace's group there has been excellent against the run. In fact, they're 2nd in the league, only allowing 63 yards a game, and Calgary really challenging that strength right now with a lot of Dedrick Mills getting him going up the middle.
23rd offensive play of the game already for the Stampeders. Everybody out wide left to Mayer. That's where they're going to go. They get it into the hands of Lewis. Lewis with a couple of blockers, and he stays on his feet. flag at the end of the play as he's close to another first down. Sort of this flag on the far side of the field.
They're going to be calling holding on one of the Calgary receivers out there.
And the 4th catch of the game for Lewis. So with Odom's Dukes out, opportunity for him, and he's taken advantage of it so far.
Before yards were gained on the play, illegal block in the back, Calgary number 80. This will be a 10-yard penalty. We're going to replay first down.
Mark Michelle. No targets yet. Now he draws a flag.
Little push right there, but it was after yards were gained.
Yeah, that doesn't really jive with what the call was that was announced, at least. 1st and 20, though, for Mayer, trying to keep this drive alive. Might have to open it up a bit here. Empty backfield. Nope, they'll come back across to Lewis again. Lewis. Decent chunk back, but it'll still be 2nd and long. As that'll officially go in as his 4th catch of the ball game.
Yeah, when you go 1st and 20 because of a penalty, your goal is to get halfway there. So you don't like 2nd and 10 in normal situations, but when you're 1st and 20, this type of play gets you in a chance. That's an 8-yard gain, so now 2nd and 12, and a chance for Jake Mayer to basically just run the offense, so doesn't really push it to convert here.
He's completed all 9 of his passing attempts so far here against this stingy Argos defense. 4 options to his left, goes over the middle, completion and a heavy pop, but Begelton's got a first down for Calgary.
Reggie Begelton, who has really been a guy that they've leaned on over the last few weeks. In fact, the last 2 weeks, he's been targeted 22 times, 11 times a game to Reggie Begelton, and that's a big one to convert and get a new set of downs after a penalty that put him back to 1st and 20.
But if you're Jake Mayer and you're trying to get your season on track, that's the guy you want to go to,
That's the guy,
right?
man. And he can still go deep, by the way.
Begelton's caught all 3 balls thrown his way so far. They'll hand it off to Mills. And Mills, decent chunk on the ground, 4 yards on first down, and 2nd and completely manageable here for Calgary, which has kind of been the story of the game for these guys so far.
You know, Begelton's 2 games where he was targeted 22 times. He caught 15 of them for almost 200 yards. 8 of those catches were for 2nd down conversions, the money catch, as I call it, and he still leads his team. Even at, just about 30 years old, he leads his team in those big plays down the field, 30-plus yards.
Well, what Sean Bain wants to know is how many yak yards in those 2 games.
Yes, he does.
2nd and 6 for Mayer. Far side. Got one a little bit behind Lewis, and he couldn't hang on, and that's a drive killer there. It would have been very close to a first down.
Yeah, been real accurate now. That a lot of these throws have been the hitch screen type throws, but real accurate on the Begelton throw over the middle, and that's very catchable. Plus Tommy Lee Lewis has to settle there, and that's what Jake Mayer is saying. He just needs to settle down in that hole, not run through it, because it wasn't a man route. At that point, it was a zone route. So sit in that hole, just sit down, and don't keep running across the middle.
Paredes has hit 13 in a row. This one a 45-yarder straight away to give his team the lead. And of course, Paredes, the most accurate field goal kicker in league history, knocks home another one. And the Calgary Stampeders put together another drive. This time, they have to settle for 3 from the leg of the veteran Paredes. Well, there's an interesting development right now. Kelly with a limp on the sideline, and his Argos teammates out on the field without him. Cameron Dukes in at quarterback, the 24-year-old. We did see Kelly come up limping earlier in the ball game. He played since then. They'll get it to Gittens Jr. And he takes it to the far side of the field. tackled there before he could do any significant damage. But a look at Cameron Dukes now.
Yeah, Cameron Dukes, who has been used in some short yardage throughout the season, and a chance to get out there and get some playing time. We'll see if we can get a report from Farhan on just what is the injury situation for Chad Kelly. But we did see him limping. We saw him limping on that sideline as well. So we'll see if this is just to give him a rest for a series or two, or we're going to examine him at halftime.
Dukes with a completion to Phillips for a first down. And he settles in. Let's try to get an update on Kelly. Let's send it down to Farhan.
Yeah, it is injury related. That limp has got everything to do with this right here. He's questionable to return with an ankle injury. Sounds like they're going to take another look at it at halftime. Just let him settle till then. As far as Pickett is concerned, he's also got a leg injury, also questionable, but he is trying to jog and move around and see if there's anything there and get back into this game.
What a run from Ouellette, as that looked like it was going to be a loss, and instead it goes for a gain of 9 and his first impactful play of the ball game.
Yeah, this will be a play from Ouellette where Ouellette is basically saying to his coach, remember me, especially with a young quarterback in there, and Cameron Dukes, who, by the way, got a really nice block here on the pursuit from Titus Wall, and that's a real block. Sometimes the quarterback gets out there and then he just kind of gets out of the way, but not that time.
And now pushing ahead, that'll be a first down for Toronto. Dukes out of Lindsey Wilson, that's where he played his college ball, was with the Vegas Nighthawks. Awesome name of the Indoor Football League last year. Here's a look at Ouellette. He left the field right after this play.
It was a big hit by Brandon Dozier coming downhill to get him.
Calgary Stampeders beating up the Argos a little bit. First and 10 for Dukes. Hands it off. Nice burst to the left side of the line for Leak, who usually is reserved for return duties. That'll take us inside 3 minutes with some interesting developments here at McMahon Stadium. Kelly banged up.
For the Toronto Argonauts piling up at this point.
Where are you, Kate? Where are you?
We've lost a light in the studio. We're like the Toronto Argonauts right now. There's no light, so it's going to be the analysts at halftime. Where am I? Where am I?
Well, lots to talk about coming up at the half. Don't go anywhere. That panel, they'll be lit. They'll be ready to go. Ouellette holding his helmet. Kelly, like a right ankle issue. Farhan said they'll reevaluate at halftime. So Cameron Dukes into the game at quarterback, and he's handled some of the short yardage stuff and push ahead here.
Yeah, you're looking at 1 and 1A though, for as far as the leaders on offense for the Argos, and Chad Kelly and AJ Ouellette. So
you know, we have seen other teams have to go through this.
Oh, no question.
Guys have stepped up in certain situations. In other situations, they're still looking for players to step up. So we'll get a look tonight at what the Argos are going to be capable of.
We may see some more Javon Leak in the backfield.
They also have a guy named Andrew Harris, who
not bad there either.
He's going to move out into the slot to the left of his quarterback. Leak will move out to the right and take this pass, but he's tracked down quickly. And a penalty at the end of the play. Is that on Titus Wall?
Yeah, that'll be a horse collar. That'll be a horse collar tackle. The player doesn't have to go backwards in a horse collar. You can grab him by the horse collar and yank him down forwards.
Major foul. Face mask.
Okay, face
Calgary
mask
number 82.
in the same category.
The foul will be applied from the previous line of scrimmage. We're going to go up 15 yards and a first down.
Titus Wall doesn't like it, so he didn't think he got the face mask. We'll take a good look at it here and see if he did. See, that's from the nameplate going forward. He didn't grab the face mask at all, so I'm not sure if that was an incorrect call. Oh, wait a minute. Did he have the left hand on the underneath the face mask?
One of those sneaky
underhand face masks.
Longest drive of the game for the Argos. Dukes in at quarterback. Dukes in trouble. He'll be taken down. Didn't have a lot of time, and Mike Rose was there. 6th sack of the season.
4-man pressure. And the pocket just collapsed. That was kind of a team sack. Adiemi Berglund showing like he's going to go into the B gap. Then he drops. Actually, it was just 3-man pressure. Stand corrected. He just got some help from the linebacker late on that. Boy, you can get home with 3-man pressure. Your defense is going to be successful.
Changes things, right? Absolutely. That was Mike Moore and Mike Rosen on that tackle. Now Dukes, he's going to look to the end zone. Intercepted. Moxie makes a big play in his own end zone. And Calgary takes over.
Well, Coach Dinwiddie's going to talk to young Cameron Dukes and tell him, you know, when you're in this situation, be sure about these deep throws because you're in the scoring zone. A field goal is good going in at halftime when you're the team on the road. A little push from both guys back and forth. No flag on the play. And Moxie, who got the penalty earlier, comes back with a nice pick in the end zone.
First interception of the season, and pretty impressive one for Moxie.
Talk about DBs with great hips. That was great hip movement from Jonathan Moxie to pivot the way he did and come down with that ball.
Jake Mayer gets the ball back with 98 seconds on the clock. Mayer flushed out to his right. On the run, near side. Michel has it. And he will hang on for his first catch of the ball game.
Yeah, if they're efficient, there is time for field goal range here for Calgary.
Easy money. Easy money.
It's a good slogan. Easy money.
Hey, I really do this, man. Shout out.
Jake Mayer, 11 of 12 for 79 yards. Still has a minute and a half to work with, and you've got Paredes, who's been banging them in from 50 on a regular basis this year. He's 6 for 6 from 50 yards or beyond, which is pretty remarkable. 2nd and 4. Looking for a first down here. Mayer goes back to Michel, and he's got that first down they were seeking.
Jake Mayer, I mean, again, he hasn't been forced to throw a lot of deep balls tonight yet, and he hasn't thrown even a lot of real deeper intermediate throws, but he has been bang on in accuracy in the accuracy department all game long.
Fresh set of downs to work with for 12 in red. Running back to his left, gives it to him. Mills could not make a move. Wrapped up immediately there by Mechie, who's having himself a pretty nice contest.
Yeah, that was a great open field tackle, because this is exactly what Calgary wanted. They wanted to get, it's an extended run play. Get Mills outside. Now you get him in space with its one-on-one. And with all this room on either side of him, Mechie makes the play.
Set up a 2nd and long with the clock ticking down to about 60 seconds. And Calgary, I feel pretty good about where they're at right now, leading the unbeaten Argos by 3. 4 options to the right for Mayer. Toronto's going to bring some heat. Mayer has it picked up, goes back to Lewis this time, who gets back on his feet and lunges ahead for what appears to be a Calgary first down.
Yeah, pressure coming off the edge. They're going to bring some pressure. There's Mechie, the safety, coming in there, and with that pressure coming, Jake Mayer throws right into the teeth of it. And that's, again, a nice accurate throw.
5th catch of the game for Lewis. Mayer looking to throw again. Running, and now tries to dump it over to his running back. And it is incomplete. Boy, Mayer was going through a bunch of different options there, wasn't he?
We could almost see him thinking out loud, couldn't we? As he rolled outside, and he had Dedrick Mills right in front of him. He gave it to him right away. He could have maybe turned around and got a few. There was some pursuit coming from inside out from the Argo defense, but there's a decision. No, don't want it. Let me see. No, don't want it. Okay, now I have no choice. And it's out of bounds.
I almost yelled, throw it to someone. Stretching the field out as far as he could go. 14-16. Closing in under 100 yards is Jake Mayer. 3 receivers wide side left. Toronto will bring 6 again. Mayer out of the pocket again. will go down just outside the 50. At 5 yards, but it's not enough.
Rimalotti forces him out to the right, but he really only had one receiver on that side of the field.
Nair hesitant to uncork one downfield just yet, but the reason he's doing that is he's trying to avoid some of these interceptions in that Toronto secondary.
And the fact that he didn't get to first down territory is why he stayed inbounds.
Stayed inbounds, so the clock kept running.
Yeah, clock keeps running to not give Toronto too much time.
This guy might not need much time, though. Oh, he bobbles it, and it's going to trickle towards the end zone. Calgary trying to hop on it. A flag on the play. Touchdown, Stampeders. Are you kidding me? How will they sort this out? A mistake from Leak ends up in the hands of the home side.
Well, it happens. He's been so good all season long. Great week last week, and just loses his concentration for a split second. Javon Leak here, I think he's just taking a peek at what he thinks is going to be a great sideline return. I mean, look at his room up there, but he takes his eye off the ball for that split second. It comes loose, and Griffin, the safety.
There is no infraction on the play. The ball was touched by the Toronto receiver in the field of play and recovered in goal by Calgary. It is a touchdown.
Michael Griffin hustles to it. And yeah, they thought it wasn't touched initially with the flag coming out, that it was no yards, but it was touched by Leak. Therefore, it's a free play and a free ball, and Michael Griffin goes and gets it. So Jake Mayer stays inbounds because he knows they're punting and out of field goal range. Keep the clock running.
Let's go, baby.
And you can score on the teams in Canadian football. Smart football right there for the Calgary Stampeders.
Paredes to give Calgary a 10-point lead. That halftime panel is going to be incredible.
Well, I think Coach Dinwiddie's going to talk about concentration at halftime. You know, we're 6-0. Lots of football to be played in this second half. But it's concentration, the little procedure calls, the little offsides, a drop, you know, little things like this that have happened for Toronto tonight, uncharacteristic.
Quarterback banged up, running back banged up, coming into the game a perfect 6-0, and finally the Argos facing some legitimate adversity here on the road against the Calgary Stampeders, a team that they will have to face back in Toronto later this Dukes.
10,000 yards in the NAIA, and this league has often been an opportunity for quarterbacks that necessarily play Division I down south.
That kick into a strong wind, and Leak runs into a couple of Calgary Stampeders. Here's a look. If you're just joining us, here's what's happened to Chad Kelly in this game and why he's not going to play in the second half.
It takes a hit here now. He completes this, but there was a penalty that took the play off the board for hands to the face, but right after that, it didn't seem right. They talked about his ankle. Looks like although he probably could go, but
that's good news, though, right? For the
exactly moving
it's not
forward,
too bad,
so. And they're going to have to examine it after the game for sure.
All right, let's find out a little bit about Dukes as they started their own 36. There's Ouellette, who was banged up in the first half as well. He's out here getting the first touch of the second half, so that is a positive sign. It goes for 2 yards.
Yeah, now if you're Calgary Stampeders defensively, you're especially on second downs, likely to see some straight out pressure packages to see if Cam Dukes can handle it.
Well, at just 11 yards in the first half. Stands in next to his quarterback here. And multiple flags on the play.
Procedure, Toronto number 59. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
John Allen, pretty clear on that one. I think everybody saw that.
Well, and this is what Coach Dinwiddie talked about at halftime, saying you guys were sleepwalking. And now I will give Allen a bit of a break here in that it's a new quarterback, it's a new cadence, it's a new voice, one they haven't really listened to all year long. I mean, they hear it in practice and second-team reps, but it's just a different cadence coming from a different guy. So you give him a pass on the first one.
2nd and 13, just a 3-man rush. Everybody else sits back, and it's almost intercepted. Oh, he wants that one back. Cam Judge might have found some space to go all the way home with that one.
Well, it looked like he was basically just waiting for this. I mean, he sneaks up in that spy technique almost and robs it from Cam Phillips on the crossing route, and it goes right through the bread basket.
Look like my kids at home when I throw a football to them.
Keep working on it. They'll be there. They'll get there.
Here's Lewis. Takes it at the 16. Looked like something may have developed there, but good job by the Argos to shut that thing down immediately. Jake Mayer in the first half, 14-16, 96 yards.
Yeah, very accurate. They got the ball out of his hands quickly as the panel, and I think Coach Lapo talked about at halftime that, you know, against this really good defense, a defense that leads the league in takeaways, real good front seven with pressure, get the ball out of your quarterback's hands quickly, and you own the time of possession. Not a lot of real dangerous throws. One of his incompletions, by the way, was a drop by a receiver. The other was a throw at the last second that was caught but out of bounds.
Longest play in that half, 14 yards to Begelton. They'll hand it off to Mills once again. He went over 50 in the opening 2 quarters.
I have a feeling that a guy like Wynton McManus and Jordan Williams are going to be a little upset coming out of the tunnel. These are guys that all-star level pros that, you know, when a running back gets a little over 50 in the first half, I guarantee you they had a little conversation.
So tell me about this on the defensive side of the ball, because you know on the offensive side of the ball, oh, you try to do too much. What about on the defensive side of the ball? Can you try to do too much and put yourself in a bad spot?
Yeah, you can overrun plays, absolutely.
Here's Mayer. They'll dump it off. Mills breaks one tackle, lowers the bull, pushing ahead, and he's got a first down. Hard yards after the catch.
Just like you said. Watch Wynton McManus on this play, Dustin. This is a question you asked me. Can a defensive player do too much or be so mad that they want to get there so fast? Watch how quickly he closes, and because he's closed so quickly, he whiffs on the tackle. Just a little bit behind Mills. He makes a miss, which you almost never see with Wynton McManus, and away he goes for the first down.
31 tackles on the year for McManus, having a great season. Couldn't contain Mills there, and they go back to a steady diet of Mills here. 3 yards on that first down pickup. We talk about that Jake Mayer first half. We looked at the pack and a lot of shorter passes, nothing deeper than 14. Is that the classic take what they're giving you sort of scenario, or is that you're doing what you want because you know how you can attack it?
It's the game plan. The game plan coming in from Coach Mueller, Coach Dickinson, the entire offensive staff to say, hey, they've got a good defense. They've got a good front seven. You don't have to throw it deep all game long. Just time of possession, chip away.
2nd and 7. Mayer looks to his right, goes over the middle of the Barnes. He's got it on the run, and he is close to another first down. Looks like they're going to mark that forward progress with enough distance to get a fresh set.
Now they brought in Avante Bellamy as the tailback there. You see him leaving the backfield. And the reason for that is to try and pull a linebacker like McManus out to the running back and then go back and screen the opposite direction. Again, a play that I haven't seen from Calgary throughout this season, but a play that was drawn up and designed to play against this real good front seven.
Begelton moves into the slot to the left of his quarterback. Mayer goes to the right to Lewis. Lewis, little hesitation. Good job to get an extra 3 yards there. It looked like they might have had him in lost territory.
And we've seen some good tackling. Royce Mechie's had a good first half and some good tackling by DBs and things. But this style of offense where you have real speed guys running these little quick hitches and pushes to the flat being the outside the numbers there, you have to be consistent in your tackling all game long in the secondary. You just drop your concentration a little bit one time and he turns that little throw into a big gain.
Take a quick look at Lewis. 6 catches for 35 yards. Leads the game in balls caught. We'll be back. Had the time to watch it just yet. I might have jinxed things at halftime. I said, I think that storm's going to miss us because it's starting to rain at McMahon, and obviously the wind gusting pretty good here. And Calgary is going into that wind right now with a 10-point lead. 2nd and 7. Mayer out to his left, dumps it off to his running back. But they'll be shy of what they needed, just 3 yards there, so it'll be 3rd and 4, and they'll be forced to kick this away.
Interesting on that, is that a little bit of the home field advantage that you get in football? Did Dave Dickinson have a direct hotline to the weather station to find out? That's a little bit of a late hit there that is not called.
He wanted it, didn't he?
Yeah, well, we've seen a couple that have been real borderline. No challenge, or is Dave Dickinson going to challenge?
There it is. Flag has been thrown by Dickinson.
I was going to say he may have known that the weather was changing. He's going into the wind in the 3rd quarter. Means he'll have to run in the 4th.
He hits him right in the face with 2 hands.
Dave's
Calgary is challenging for roughing the passer. The play will be reviewed.
I think Dave Dickinson may win this challenge. It looks, his challenges this year, he's gone 1 for 5.
Not good, yeah.
In fact, most coaches, I think, this year are in the similar category. I mean, that was just one that I think was long enough after the throw. Could Hendricks have stopped? I think the answer there is yes, and stopped with the 2-hand, almost cross-check.
So this is a timing situation, you think?
Well, timing and just the aggressiveness at the end of it when he really didn't, the ball wasn't in his hand.
Just not necessary.
Exactly.
You see the storm clouds there. Good shot of them in the distance. This would be a big one for sure. Keep Calgary's offense on the field.
I'm saying you either get it or leak it.
And you said it could be a couple of different ways they call this roughing the passer.
It looked like it was enough to me, but we'll see what the command center decides.
After review,
gave us a tease. We want the whole thing.
After review, there was roughing the passer on Toronto number 99. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Dickinson now 2 for 6 on the season, and this is a big one, no doubt about it, for Calgary.
Yeah, it is, and it not only does it give him the 15 yards, a new set of downs, but it also puts him in field goal range, and it was a little bit late and overly aggressive and was avoidable. Avoidable hit on the quarterback. 2 hands to the chest.
Hendricks does not agree, not happy with the call, but it is what it is. And Jake Mayer back on the field, working from the Toronto 40. Mills into his right. Tucks it into the belly of Mills, and he is tackled immediately on the play. There's Mechie again. Boy, he's been all over the field tonight.
Yeah, and he's, as the guys mentioned, Darius Pickett is out, so they've got Mechie there with Haggerty playing the safety, so he's going to be down low a ton, but we're going to see more and more of these playmakers. I think we're scratching the surface on Royce Mechie. He's got a pick 6, had that against Edmonton. I mean, this guy is just a ball player.
5 years into his career. Second season with the Argos. Mayer gets rid of it quickly, and that is hauled in. Boy, with Mechie on his back, Barnes is able to go up and get it, but it will bring up 3rd down, but they are also in Paredes field goal range.
How about the just the progression of Barnes and how Clark Barnes has been just getting a little bit better and taking small steps forward in every single game. He's got a big missed field goal return that helped Calgary get to one of their 2 wins, and he's fighting off Mechie on that one.
This will be a 42-yarder, but into a strong win for Paredes. He's made 14 in a row, and this one is up, and it is good. Paredes, 15 consecutive field goals for the Calgary kicker. To the best start, tied for the best start in franchise history. They never opened at 7-0. They were hoping to do that tonight, but Calgary Stampeders and a few injuries on the Argo side of things has led to a different discussion as Kelly watches on. He looked good when he was in the game, Glenn.
On the big play.
Yep. Now it's Dukes, and Dukes wants a big play down the field. No, incomplete. Looking for Gittins Jr., but it was Moxie who was all over him.
Well, never wrong to go long was what Matt Dunnigan always used to tell me, and that's what Cam Dukes says here. Let's just sling it and see what we can get. And, boy, I'll tell you what, that's the second big play for Moxie. Moxie ended the half, remember, with an interception in his own end zone, and he kept with it. It looked like Gittins Jr. had a little inside position on him. It does hit his hands, but he swipes that right arm down and knocks it out.
Fair to say a pretty well-thrown ball, though.
Absolutely.
Dukes.
Absolutely. Right where it had to be. To give Gittins a chance.
3 options to the right for Dukes. 2nd and 10. Under pressure, escapes the pocket, takes off on the run, and he's got a first down for Toronto. Something he did in college as well. Moved the ball extremely well on his feet.
They're trying to go with tempo now, just to simplify things a little bit, make it, see if they can tire the Calgary defense a little bit. And Calgary's got a guy down, so they're going to have to huddle up.
It is Cam Judge, who was a game-time decision coming into this one. He is down on the field, and the trainers will take a look at him. We'll step aside and look for an update when we return. Let's take a trip back in history, back in time. By the way, that is Kelly photoshopped on the left there. That's Chad Kelly. Some fine work by our crew.
Yeah, this happened. You know, canned beer made its debut. That was the most important invention of all time. Right there. I see that, you know, the wages haven't gone up much.
Here's Dukes, he's in trouble, and he will be taken down. Another sack for Calgary.
Yeah, he was loading up here to try and throw it deep. And the problem when you sort of decide to do this before you go through your progressions as a young quarterback, and he's dropping back here. See, he wants to unload a deep ball, and you could tell that he made that decision before he received the snap. The problem with that is if that one deep ball that you want is covered down, you're in big trouble, because now the time on the play has extended.
2nd sack of the season for Berglund, getting the start, the tackle on the end tonight. Here's Dukes on the run, nowhere to go, and manages to get the ball to Harris after Calgary sort of missed a tackle. He escaped there briefly. Not enough for Harris, and that will bring up 3rd down.
Well, he is showing a little bit of his mobility. I mean, Cam Dukes is moving around. We saw a nice run for 1st down a couple plays ago, and you know, he is avoiding extending plays. He's got his tail back there to help him out. Breaks a tackle there, survives that hit, and then
Darius Williams with the missed tackle. 9 special team tackles on the year. He doesn't miss many. This is kicked away in the rain and the wind. Lewis waiting for it. And he's wrapped up. What a tackle, as Lewis was hoping to get to the edge. But Jonathan Jones had other ideas.
I was in the elevator in the hotel and introduced myself to Jonathan Jones and had a quick discussion, and I'll just put it this way, he's an athlete. he was on his way to the team bus in his sweats and t-shirt, and I went, yeah, you're a linebacker.
You know what I'm jealous of? Wearing sweats and t-shirts to work. Lucky guys. Lucky guys.
Yeah, that's
he's had a nice year though. 19 tackles, 3 special teams.
Yeah,
tackles,
absolutely. He can fill into the positions on
interception
in the front 7.
Certainly move him around in there. Mayer will hand it off. Another nice burst from Dedrick Mills. He's been doing this all night long, and that'll put him over 60 yards with 7 on that carry.
Yeah, you know, I love it. I mean, you know, going into this game, a lot of people talking about how, you know, the Stamps were big-time underdogs against a undefeated team and 6-0, and Chad Kelly and this front 4 on defense, and they take the ball, and, you know, all of these things. And what Dave Dickinson has said is, as a competitor, that's what you want. If you want to turn your season around, bring in the best, and let's compete and attack at their strengths.
3 more yards for another first down. Back to Mills again, trying to find a hole, but no hole would open up. And that will bring up 3rd down, so the Argos defense able to get off the field here in pretty good time.
Yeah, that was a good stop for the Argo defense, because Calgary's into the wind. Now they have to punt into the wind.
Yeah.
So it should be good field position at sort of right around the edge of the turnaround.
But that man lurking in the distance there, Javon Leake.
Cam Dukes gets 1 more series at least with the wind at his back.
Leake with 2 punt return touchdowns already this season. Grace, good kick into the wind. Backs him up to the 30. 53-yarder into a strong wind. And Leake,
wow, that was good,
has nowhere to go. Just an excellent kick off the foot of Cody Grace, who's averaging about 49.4 on punts this year. Goes deeper there in those conditions. Calgary on top, 20-7.
Around during the final month of the season, and thinks that can happen again. He says, more than anything, I think our team offensively needs to play faster. We need to make reads at the same time. So often they go to the bench and the receiver made the wrong read, or the quarterback made the wrong read, and now they've just wasted a play. They want to make sure that can happen. The coaches also want to see him run more. If the play's not there, get the 4 and 5 yards. Get us in 2nd and manageable.
They'll hand it off here to Ouellette Will Toronto, and you know that's what Jake Mayer's been doing tonight, right? Like, that's exactly what Farhan was just talking about, is what they're trying to execute here this evening.
Well, and I think the first step to all of that was after the game, he took full accountability. I mean, there was no finger pointing, there was no discussions. He was asked the question about a general question on, you know, what happened tonight, and he said it was on me. It was totally on me. I need to be better in those key moments in games, and you take accountability, you can fix your issues.
Dukes on 2nd and 4, wide side throw, and drops it in there for Hadel, and Hadel has his first catch of the ball game.
Yeah, Hadel's playing out there for DeMonte Coxie, and this is his 2nd game, and I don't know if you saw the YouTube highlight of this guy's one of the great catches in college football that went completely viral.
If you haven't seen it, it's OBJ, but in coverage in the corner of the end zone. Yeah, essentially. But look it up. Ouellette bouncing off a couple of tackles. Look at this. And eventually 4 Calgary Stampeders wrap him up. Here's the catch we were talking about from Hadel.
Playing SMU, he was at Texas State, and when he made this catch, it was just a short touchdown throw, but how great was that? Odell Beckham Jr. style for a touchdown. That catch went viral. Over 2 million people downloaded on YouTube. And he's in the Argo starting lineup tonight.
Very Dunbar-ish from last year. Remember Stephen Dunbar with that one-hander last year? Now Dukes down the field. Almost another one-hander, but Phillips got turned around and couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, I'm going to blame this one on the wind. This is, the wind is gusting now. So it's gusting, it's swirling here at McMahon Stadium. And this ball looked, when it came out of Cam Duke's hand, it looked like it was bang on the money, but it looked like the wind pushed it behind Phillips. Now he has to try and adjust it. Oh, just off his fingertips.
That would have been for a good 750,000 YouTube views if he could have hauled that one in. Lewis at the 10. 44-yard kick and nowhere to go.
Exactly what the Argos and Corey Mace were thinking here. We've got to get him off the field here so we make him punt into the wind. They couldn't because Mills gets the extra yards against a full-out run blitz. All three linebackers plugging holes at the line of scrimmage with the four linemen. There should have been nowhere to go. But those guys up front for Calgary opened a sliver of a hole for Mills.
Final play of quarter 3. Jake Mayer, 20 of 22 for 134 yards. Throwing here, another short one. Gets it to Lewis. Lewis, a couple of yards before he's hammered out of bounds on the far side of the field. 8th catch of the game for Tommy Lee Lewis. And Calgary in control with 1 quarter remaining. The Stampeders at home against the 6-0 Argos with a 20-7 lead through 3 quarters. You see there Kelly injured in the second quarter, and obviously without your quarterback, your starting quarterback, it's going to be a little bit of a different offense.
Yeah, and Ouellette's banged up as well, so you're going to Andrew Harris, which obviously is a good situation for Toronto, but they haven't really fed him the football, so we'll see if they do in this fourth quarter because Cam Dukes is so young at the quarterback position.
No shortage of intensity on the Argos sideline.
Look at the eyes. Josh Bell, defensive back coach, just a little discussion with his defense. We'll see if they respond. But there's a guy with over 10,000 yards that, I thought with A.J. Ouellette being banged up and playing in a limited way in this second half that really start to feature 33 a little bit with a young quarterback. We'll see. Lots of time left.
2nd and 7 for Mayer. And almost everybody moved early that time. This is far from over for the Calgary Stampeders because they're a team that's played close football games. And in those close football games, games decided in the final 3 minutes, 2 and 4.
Procedure, Calgary number 66 and 54, 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Yeah, for sure. And they've lost those close games, but they are also 2-0, and they're only 2 wins. They were leading going into the fourth quarter. So, they've been able to, with the lead, take it. You see the offside clearly. A little bit of blitz coming off the edge. Excuse me, legal procedure by the offense.
So 2nd and 12 now for Mayer against an Argos defense that can certainly make plays. Gosh, they're coming. He's hit and hammered. Taken down, Jake Mayer. Popped by Jonathan Jones, his 3rd sack of the season.
I guess the speech helped. I guess Josh Bell just going nuts over there on the sideline.
Show coach's eyes now.
There he is coming off the edge. This is the guy I chatted with, and he has a clean shot. Dedrick Mills stepped up. He thought the pressure was going to come from inside. Watch 26 come up there and look to the backside of the play, leaving 30 off the edge free.
Loss of 11. Grace stands in his own end zone, but has a strong wind behind him. And this kick all the way out. Leak takes it just outside his own 35. Leak looking for something special. Not going to get it. 60-yard boot tracked down just inside the 50, but pretty good field position for the Argos because of this. Jonathan Jones heads up. Got him. Second quarter, Leak lets one get by him. Griffin hops all over it. And look at the camera work here. Look at this. Griffin all the way in, picks it up, moment of chill.
Chilling with some football instincts right there.
Yeah, for our ISO man, there he is. Brian Burnett, chilling up top.
Nice work, Brian.
Staying dry, well done, sir. There's Dukes. That's well done as well. It's a first down inside the Calgary 50. And like we said, excellent field position to start this drive. And that's the first time tonight we've seen Tavares Daniels.
Yeah, when some of our talented cameramen, we talk about the wind and the waves and the wind and the rain and everything else that happens. Those guys are out there the whole time.
Dukes down the field, drops one in, batted away though. Excellent defense. Dozier got there. Looked like Phillips was going to hang on, but Dozier had other ideas.
Yeah, play to the end of the play. This is where Brandon Dozier is going to chase this one down, and not give up on it. But if you're a young Cameron Dukes, you're thinking to yourself, that was a throw right where it had to be.
It's another good throw.
Gave him a chance, yeah.
Because they got another one in there somewhere. 2nd and 10 for Dukes. Empty backfield. 4 to the right, 2 to the wide side left. Looks left. Goes over the middle. Almost intercepted. It was Dozier again. Ball hawking out there.
Yeah, he is back, and this is Dozier now that's going to follow this play. And then he's not going to play soft, play off. He's jumping this route on the crosser. Forgot one thing.
The football. Haggerty into the wind. You see that kick just dies there. Settles in at the 15 for Lewis. A flag on the play after just a 34-yard kick. Argos defense will try to keep their team in this football game. Long way to go. 16 carries for Mills, 66 yards.
Well, he's provided the balance, and he's allowed Jake Mayer to throw sort of short or intermediate routes so that he doesn't have to really push the ball downfield, maintain the time of possession. This is 2nd most carries of the season already for Mills at 16 carries. He had 19 in his first start in week 2 against Ottawa. We had 19 for 102. So 66 yards and making an impact.
Dean Carey trending towards returning here in the near future as well. This drive starts in the Calgary 8. Back to Mills again. And he's somewhere in that pile.
Well, he is sort of a message that even though you're playing against a good run defense, even you're playing against maybe one of the toughest front 4s or front 7s, if you want to even go into the linebacking core in the league, but you can still go ahead and attack that.
You don't have to go away from it.
You don't have to just abandon it because of the reputation of the defensive front 7.
Argos are the 2nd best run defense in the league coming into this one, and Calgary trying to run it right at him. Back there again, and Mills does it again, all the way out to the 25 and a little bit beyond. Longest run of the night for Mills.
Now Jared Brinkman went down, so their rotation probably for Toronto, not giving them excuses, but their rotation is a little bit different, and Deontay Knight is playing a little bit too in the interior. But they again, a nice first down run, getting them out of a hole and out of some real bad field position there.
Well, and using the clock.
Exactly.
Like when you're up 13, that's probably just as important for the Calgary Stampeders right now, looking for their first win at home. An 0-3 start at McMahon this year. Up to their 26. Back to Mills. And about another 4 yards on first down, setting up 2nd and extremely manageable.
Not to mention, the big boys love it.
Running downhill?
Oh, yeah. The big boys get to lean on that front hand, and they just get to just fire off the ball and go find somebody to hit. Different colored jersey. Just go ahead and get an angle on them. And you know, Bryce Bell has had a good game at left tackle. They'd have to move him over to get Joshua Coker in at right tackle. These guys have done a nice job in the run game.
Jake Mayer's been careful with the ball tonight. 21 of 23. Looks to be throwing here on the run out to his right. Has a completion, and it's Lewis again for a Calgary first down. 9th catch of the game for Tommy Lee Lewis.
It is great balls to fire for number 7.
It has been.
Yeah, good pick up here by the back too. I mean, this is part of his job, and when he's in that zone, he picks up Witten McManus nicely up the middle, and that just allows Jake Mayer to bounce. Watch this 26. Big block there to the left of your screen, and then Mayer gets outside, but they found another guy. They found a player. Not just a special teams guy. He can play too.
Mills to the right of his quarterback. Will they give it to him again? Yes. And he stumbles ahead for 6 more yards as Calgary is running it down the throat of the Argos, 94 yards on the ground for Mills.
And that's saying something. That's saying something against this defense.
Well, you look at it now for Calgary, if you can do this against this team, this is a really good recipe in how you can have success. And Calgary's schedule is not get much easier. They go Toronto, in BC next Saturday. We've got that one. Then Winnipeg, and then Toronto again. Poor Edmonton at the end of that stretch, sitting there on Labor Day, waiting
back to back.
For a Battle of Alberta for a couple. Back to Mills again. Look at this hole. First down, Calgary. That'll put him over 100 yards rushing in the ball game for the second time this season.
Just a great down block here by Bryce Bell. He's going to come down on McManus. That's the down block he needs, and then there'll be another block leading into the hole. Here comes the down block right there. Good block. Little Mo's coming around the corner from the slot back position.
105 yards for Mills. Wilfred, a new season high.
Wilfred Laurier getting it done over there.
Methodical drive here for Calgary up to the Toronto 51. Handed off again. This time they'll give it to Bellamy as they find a little bit of breather for Mills.
Fifth time he's been over 100, and Dedrick Mills, I think this is something that a lot of people were talking about, getting him the ball somehow. And if you can't run it between the tackles, even swing passes, things like that, the extended runs, but fifth time over 100 yards. And you mentioned it, get Kadeem Carey
what a
back
luxury
very soon.
What a luxury they have at running back. Second and 4. Mills again, not this time. The Argos are there to put a stop to this drive.
Rene Paredes is walking out on the field as if he wants to give this a shot.
He's got a strong wind.
Got a good strong wind at his back, but his coach Dickinson, this time he's not going to be blocked. 48's going to go get it done now on that last second play. He beats that inside attempt by Zach Williams, but yeah, I think Dave Dickinson's deciding to try and punt it for the corner and make.
Paredes was standing out like right in front of Dickinson. He was swinging his leg. He's like, let's go, I'm ready.
He was trying to convince his head coach, but
it would have been his career long, because his career long is 53, I believe. And so he would have got a crack at it. Instead, they're going to try to punt this. And Grace, nice one, drops it in right at the 11. Leak. Nowhere to go. Boy, Calgary's done a pretty decent job containing him.
It's a good decision by Dave Dickinson.
Up 13.
Yeah, it's harder to cover a long field goal, too. Different guys up front.
Still got time if you're that man. Cameron Dukes. Ball's getting taped up. Dukes down 13. Tries to take off, pitches it ahead, and was that caught? I believe it was. There's Judge. That's good news. Judge is back out there. And he flipped it over to Hadel, and Hadel went down and got it.
And was he behind the line of scrimmage still? This is line of scrimmage. Looks like it's, what, 2 yards up from the...
Yep.
Yeah, he was behind.
8 yards, second and 2. Ouellette's got a first down for Toronto, and still over 5.5 minutes in this ball game. You've got time. You don't have a ton of time, but you certainly have time.
Oh, no question. I mean, we could be inside the 3-minute warning, and there's still time in our game to come back. We've seen it a ton this year, as a matter of fact.
Dukes wants to throw here, but he's under pressure. Flag as he escapes the pocket on the run to the right. Down the field. Guns it in there. And Hadel was there to grab it. Is this coming back, though?
Hadel just wants to get started. I mean, he's been, it must be starting to get a little frustrating for him. We saw that big catch in college. A couple of the early attempts.
Toronto number 52. 10-year penalty. Still first down.
A couple of the early attempts, one from Chad Kelly last week, and the first one in his direction this week were intercepted. And he doesn't want to, receivers hate when they're the target and the ball is intercepted. So, and then he made the one catch on the sideline, and then that one was called back.
1st and 20 for Dukes in the Argos offense. Needs a big chunk. Under pressure again. Taken down again. Stampeders get home. Rose. 2nd sack of the game.
Yeah, this is Mike Rose getting it done. I mean, he's going one-on-one with Gregor McKellar. He's the guy that was in his first start at right guard. He's playing against an all-star right there in Mike Rose. 5 sacks coming in. That's tied for the team lead. That's another one there.
2nd and 29, just 3-man pressure. He'll dump it off to Ouellette. What can he work up here? Ouellette, not enough. Calgary's defense is there to contain, and they'll get this ball back. And Rose getting there. He was in on a sack earlier with Moore. They gave that one to Moore, so this is technically his first of the game, but sacks are up in the Canadian Football League. And look at how this works out. 1.4 per game increase, 113 more quarterback sacks in the league schedule this year.
Well, I'll give you a reason for that.
Good defensive players. Oh, ball pops loose. Argos trying to hop on it, and this will be huge. If Toronto has this ball, they'll be in business. And they do. Toronto comes up with it. Turnover on special teams for Calgary.
Boy, it can change so quickly, can you? I'll get back to the sack thing, but this is a big play because just not caught clean by a guy who's had a pretty good game tonight in Tommy Lee Lewis. He catches it nicely and then just stripped right there. Just doesn't put that inside point of the ball underneath the arm like he should.
Brissett.
Yeah.
The receiver on special teams gets down there and knocks it out.
I was going to say, it looked like he juggled it at first, but it did hit his face mask, and then, yeah, that right hand just knocked it loose.
So they start on the 50, down 13. Dukes. Completion, far side of the field. Finds Hadel, who he's been looking for quite a bit since he came into the ball game. They have some chemistry on the 2nd unit.
Yeah, they want to get at least another play in before the 3-minute warning. And Ryan Dinwiddie will use his timeout, or he'll lose it.
Ranger.
So Ryan Dinwiddie calls a timeout, so he get one more play in before the 3-minute warning. Well, he's going to lose it if he didn't use it.
Dukes is 8 of 14, 62 yards, had that one interception. But for a guy getting his first crack at it here in the Canadian Football League,
Here we go. Let's go play 4.
he's handled himself pretty well.
Timer, please
and it
reset
should
the
be
game
10 of
clock
14.
to read 3 minutes, 13 seconds.
The other two were drops and,
3:13.
yeah.
2 drops, two flat drops where receivers had it in their hand. Now defense kept fighting for it.
Yeah.
But the receivers had it in their hands, and defense is allowed to win too. By the way, that sack thing, there are a lot of young quarterbacks in the league right now. And young quarterbacks will tend to hold on to the ball a little bit longer, maybe not see it quite as cleanly as a veteran quarterback.
Dukes needs 2 yards. That's low and incomplete. Went back over in the direction of Hadel, but short hopped him.
Now, the other thing is, and I'm not surprised that he's going to Jeremiah Hadel, because Dukes would, in the 2nd team reps in practice, would get a little friendly fire there, but in the 2nd team reps, he would be working with Hadel. Both getting a chance to play tonight.
3rd and 2. If you're Toronto, you pretty much got to have this. 4-man rush. Dukes wants to run, trying to push ahead, and he's stopped. Calgary with the denial. And that might do it. Turnover on downs.
Well, this guy's been unbelievable, and he makes a big play there. Micah Awe tracks him down.
Toronto looking for a first down that they pretty much needed to pick up. Dukes nowhere to go. Awe says,
I love you, all my family back at home. I love y'all. We've been like this.
Watch Micah Awe here, how quickly he closes. He wasn't going anywhere. He was basically in spy technique. That's something that Calgary used with Cam Judge a ton when they played against Ottawa and Dustin Crum. And there's a reaction from a head coach that was a little upset throughout this game at times.
But Calgary gets the ball back. And right back to Mills. And he's got a first down. What a night for Dedrick Mills. If you have him in fantasy, you're loving the yardage here. 12 more puts him at 115.
Well, I like the game plan, and I like the consistency in the game plan from, you know, Mark Mueller and Dave Dickinson and the staff to basically just stick with it. You know, there was a couple of times when they did get stopped in the run, and they came back to it the next series.
Well, 24 pass attempts by Mayer tonight, 23 runs by Mills, another run by Bellamy. So 24 passes, 24 runs tonight.
Great balance, great balance.
Mills again works his way around that line for another first down. Mills is churning here late in the fourth quarter.
How about dragging Josh Haggerty for another 4 yards?
Timeout, Toronto.
Safety came down to help out. He's right here to the left of your screen, number 27. He comes down to help out, sees the run, so he breaks in, and then he's got him around the waist, and he basically Mills drags him for another 5. Gives you that first down.
Second 100-yard game of the season. And nice you say, when you can establish this, it makes it so much easier on Jake Mayer.
Well, it keeps your D line that you're playing against, it keeps them honest. You know, they have to spy the back first before they get into full pass rush mode.
Bellamy in there, running back now behind Mayer. Strolls up to his left with just over 2 minutes to play. I'll give it to Bellamy, and he finds a little bit of space as well and carries it all the way up just inside the Toronto 47 yards for Bellamy. Bellamy, first-year Stampeder out of Western Michigan.
Good shit, Cole. Hey, good shit, Cole. Let's go, D-Phone. There you go, Cole.
Sigh of relief here for Calgary tonight, isn't it, Glenn?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, like I said, they total underdogs in this game with a 6-0 Argo team coming in, and this is exactly what the Stampeders wanted.
2nd and 3. Back to Bellamy again. Kind of trips up a little bit, and will be about 1.5 yards shy, almost 2 yards shy of a first down.
Dave Dickinson, you know, is pretty much had Toronto's number as a head coach here in Calgary. 10-1 coming in. They lost back in 21. Cloud Biffle Thompson beat Bo Levi Mitchell here in a game in Calgary about this time of year. And other than that, as a head coach, it was the only loss against the Argonauts.
That .909 winning percentage actually is the best that he has against any other team in the Canadian Football League. 3rd and 2. Mills back in, needing a couple, and he is there. Sure looked like he got it. Had to get to the 35, and that's where he did. First down Calgary, career high for Mills on the ground tonight.
What a great reaction from Coach Dickinson too. He was watching this run. Nice patience, bounce outside, took a couple of guys that extra half a yard he needed, and Coach Dickinson gave it the fist pump sideline.
Toronto on the verge of dropping their first one. They were 6-0, 3-0 on the road, 3-0 versus the West this season. On all good things, I guess, must come to an end. Rocky road along the way, losing Kelly tonight. Mills right up the middle. A few more hard yards before he's thrown down.
And because of all this run, Dustin, the secondaries had to make a lot of tackles. Robertson Daniel is into double figures in tackles right now.
Well, he's at 15, and he was kind of in on that one.
Yeah, and you know, if he gets credit for that one, he's flirting with single game records.
CFL record is 17. Simone Lawrence back in 2019. 2nd and 2.
When the tailback's getting the ball as much as Mills has and getting into that second level, the DBs are forced to make tackles. And when Jake Mayer is throwing those bubble screens, things like that, that means you have to be a consistent tackler. And Robertson Daniel quietly tonight, you know, he's got the information. He looked at the stats and had to double check it there. Like, yeah, 15 tackles right now. He's got 2 more to tie the record.
Stevens into the game on 3rd and short.
Now in a loss, that's not something that
not going to remember that one.
Robertson's going to go to say, you know, look at me. But he's had a great year. I mean,
4 interceptions, 4 knockdowns,
yes,
4 fumble recovery. He really has to. And now Tommy Stevens just bullied his way over the Argos defensive line for a 1st down.
Well, this game for a lot of, you know, for the Stampeders, for their fan base, I mean, this game is going to send a message. It's going to send a message out to the rest of the league that, you know, that Jake Mayer had said it after the loss last week, you know, to the Montreal Alouettes, and he said, you know, I made some mistakes and some bad decisions on a couple of plays, and it's on me. And if we keep it together and win some of these close games, get a lead, we're close. They've said they're close.
5th long drive of the game for Calgary. They kind of powered their way to this victory tonight, didn't they, Glenn?
Yeah, they just attacked the strength of the Toronto Argonaut defense. Their front 7 with a great run game, tremendous balance. Jake Mayer almost perfect on the night throwing the football. And a big win for the Stamps.
Jake Mayer, 22 of 24 for 149 yards. But that man was the story tonight. Did not find the end zone, but 20.